the ViewChild decorator. It's like content child, but for elements that are not transcoded using ng content but simply belongs to the parent component. We can compare it with a template reference variable, but only on the TypeScript side. To make you practice with ViewChild, I'm going to use another component you haven't seen yet, the simple alert view component. So I open the template. As you can see, it's very similar to the alert view we have created before, but in this case there's no content projection but only properties, title, messages, and the OK button binded to the dismiss method, all of them defined into the component itself. So if I open the TypeScript side of this component, I can see the properties message and title, as well as the dismiss method and the show method. So it is the component itself who controls its own visibility. Okay, to stop playing with this, I add the component into the main view app component HTML. I have my tabs here, the alert view, another alert view, and then below that I write app simple alert view, and I open the TypeScript side of the main component, so I can use ViewChild in order to get this child element, and in this first experiment just console log it. I have to create a property decorated with ViewChild, so add ViewChild of a simple alert view component. This property is called alert and it will be of type simple alert view component. Of course, I need to import the new stuff, the simple alert view, and also the ViewChild decorator. See how I added them here and here. And like with content child, there's a lifecycle event from which my ViewChild becomes available. It is the lifecycle event after ViewInit. So I tell my class, my app component, to implement the interface after ViewInit, and then of course I have to implement it. So I write this method ng after ViewInit. Of course I have to import it also, that's why I get the linter error. You can see how I am importing this after ViewInit from Angular core. Back to the method ng after ViewInit. What I will do here is just simply console log this.alert. If I go to see the results, I can see there's an empty alert view, but if you see the console output, you can see my component logged, and it has been configured by default as visible, that's why you can see it. However, I've not initialized the title and description values. If I open the simple alert view component, I can see how visible property is set to true, but I need to init the message and title properties. So I'll go a step further, and from the main component, I will write those properties of my alert. So in my ng after ViewInit, I add this.alert.title equals hi, and also the message this.alert.message equals hello world. If I go to see the results now, you can see that I have the title and the message as expected. However, I got a huge error on my console output. As you can read the error, it says expression change after it has been checked error. So there has been a change of the expression after it has been checked. Before checking, it was undefined, and after that, it was high. This error is caused because when you're using the development server, the change detection cycle is executed twice, and in this case, it detected that the value has changed between those two executions, and this should not happen. When you run your code in production, this error disappears because the change detection cycle is executed only once, but of course, no one wants to see this error appearing in development neither. In fact, I made a trick at the beginning, because if the visible property would have been initialized to false, and then I would have called the show method in the after ViewInit, like this.alert.show, I would have got the same error. I set the property to true to prevent this to happen, because I want to explain it first. Anyway, the point is that if you want to modify your ViewChild at the beginning, you should better use the lifecycle event after content init, that is when the content is injected to the view and the change detection is not being run yet. So I'll modify this event to ng after content init. Here inside I'm setting the title message. I'm also calling the show method. I can remove this console log. I have to replace, of course, the interface implemented by after content init without the ng. The interface is only after content init. I have to import it, and I can remove the afterview init that is not used now. As I'm calling alert.show at the beginning, I can go to the simple alert view component and say that it won't be visible by default, and if I go back to the results, you can see that now it works fine. When I load the page, it calls the show method, so it is displayed. You can see also the title and messages added by code. However, there's no error in the console output. If I click OK, it closes because it calls the dismiss method itself. So let's summarize this video. As you can see, I have this component, simple alert view, with a couple inputs and its own methods. And instead of using it in the main component template by defining there the title and message inputs, and by creating a template reference variable in order to call the show method of the alert, what I'm doing is the same stuff but from TypeScript. So I use the decorator ViewChild in order to assign to the alert property the simple alert view component in the template. And then I use the lifecycle event ngAfterContentInit to directly use the alert component API, so I set the public properties title and message and also call the public method show. As you can see in my alert component, both the title and message properties do not have any access modifier, and this is the same of making them public. Also, my dismiss method is public, and so is the show method.